What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we are continuing our midseason college football predictions, doing some Pac-12 teams today, and we're going to move along here with Washington, the team that won the Pac-12 last season. Here was my preseason predictions. I thought they'd lose 2 games. I really thought they might lose that Arizona State game. If you watch my preseason predictions, I thought that was a very good possibility. But I thought UCLA and Stanford, or thought UCLA was going to be better than what they've been. And I didn't want to give this team 3 losses because I thought they were better than that. So I wound up doing UCLA instead of Arizona State, which obviously was a mistake. So we're going to clear it out now. We've missed that 1 game, but we're going to move ahead to the second half of the season. UCLA, again, preseason I had UCLA winning this game. Now I think Washington wins it. There's just not enough defense on that UCLA team. They can't run the football. I think Washington will have their way with them. I think it'll be. I don't really think it'll even be close. Washington's going to be angry coming off a loss and then a bye week. Yeah, that could get ugly. So I'm going to go with Washington in this game over UCLA. I think they win that one again fairly easily. Oregon, another team that I thought was going to be a lot better than what they have been. They lose Justin Herbert, so injuries and things happen. So maybe that's part of it. But even before that, I don't think they were quite as good as I thought they would be. They were looking like a pretty good team, though. So, but yeah, I think this is another easy win for Washington. I think, again, they come off that loss, a bye week. They are angry. They come out playing really, really well in these 2 games, and they win convincingly. Everybody's saying, hey, Washington, they just had that 1 loss. They're still a dominant team. They're still a playoff contender, and then they meet Stanford. This game is on the road at Stanford. Stanford struggled a little bit early in the season. They seem to be finding their way now. They always seem to finish the season strong, and I think that continues this year. I think Stanford will win this game just like I originally thought. Even from the preseason, I thought Stanford would win this game. That's a tough road game for Washington. So yeah, I'm going with Stanford to get this win and give Washington their 2nd loss of the season. And then these final 2 games for Washington are going to be tough, but they get them both at home. I think that'll be a big help for them. Utah's a good football team. We've seen them be competitive against teams like USC. Even though they've got a couple of losses, they are still looking very good. And I think it'll be a tough challenge for Washington. I don't think they're going to necessarily easily win these last 2 games. I do think they beat Utah. Again, I think it'll be a close game, but I like Washington to sneak out a victory there against the Utes. And then you get the Apple Cup, Washington against Washington State. At one time, we thought maybe this game would decide the Pac-12 North. Now, after that loss to Cal for Washington State, they're not out of it. They still, pretty much control their own destiny. If they can go out and beat Stanford and Washington, they'll still be in really good shape. But as far as this game goes, especially at home, I like Washington to win it. I think Washington State was a little bit overrated just because they beat USC. A lot of people thought this was a playoff contender. I never really thought that. If you've been following me, I said that this is not really a top 10 team. But they're a good team. They're a solid team, just not quite good enough to beat Washington. So we're going to go with Washington to win that game. Finish the season 10-2. So preseason, I had them at 10-2. I had them at 7-2 in the conference. And that's exactly where we're going to finish up at. So no changes to the overall record or the conference record. The only difference is we're switching the loss from UCLA over to Arizona State, who they've already lost to. And I feel pretty confident about this. I mean, they could run the table and win these games, but I think there's a loss in there somewhere. Even if it's not to Stanford, I do think they lose maybe to Utah or Washington State late in the season. And again, the goal here is not to get every single game exactly right. That is impossible. You're not going to do it. Maybe for a couple of teams you can get it right. But nobody out there is going to be able to do that. But if we can get the correct overall record at the end of the season, I would say that my predictions were a success. Maybe you mix up, some of the wins and losses, but the goal again is to get that overall record, and we're still in good shape. I think for that. I think they win that game against UCLA, the game that I thought they were going to lose, and I still think they lose to Stanford. So that's it for Washington. Those are my thoughts. What do you think about Washington? Go ahead and leave a comment down below with your thoughts, your prediction on what their final record will be. And that's going to do it for this video. We'll do a couple more Pac-12 teams today, and then we'll wrap everything up tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.